Hello there. My name is Andrew Allawine. Would you like to
With
introduce yourself?
Jonathan Hernandez. How you guys doing?
We are both currently students over at Full Sail University, and today is our podcast on student life and comparing between the online classroom versus the in-person campus experience and how you might be able to take away something and hopefully gain a bit of an experience from our wisdom. So first things first, Jonathan, can you tell me what motivated you to get started with this particular program?
Honestly, I was actually in take with Full Sail a few years ago. They interested me, and when I'll be honest. I'll give you a short briefing on my life. I grew up in Jersey, in the city, hard life. I wanted things to be different. So I decided to do something differently. And joining Full Sail, it provided that. It provided an outlet to where I could express myself creatively and hopefully get somewhere in life with it.
All right. Can you tell a little bit about the program that you're a part of right now?
Well, as of right now, I'm in cinematography. It's only my second month in, second course, psychology, to play. And so far, honestly, I love it. I honestly recommended it to a few of my friends already. Um, the classes, as far as so far in psychology, the play's been awesome. I've never really looked on the outlook of on, how playing around could really motivate their creativity inside somebody's mind. And then I started noticing lately how I've been more happy in life, and the creative side to me just dings off the create off the radar. Like,
Definitely. Now, would you say that the classroom experience, even as an online student, has been very motivating and um, creatively inspiring to you?
very much so. Yeah, it's not the same as being on campus. Uh, I have the curiosity in the back of my head what it would be like to be in the classroom with everybody and be able, to share the equipment, share stories, share ideas, and actually put the ideas into a project. That's something being an online student, it's hard to do. So the benefit I feel of being on campus is you're around everybody. You get to network, um, and you also have the equipment, the studio rooms, the green rooms. You have everything on campus that you would need to put a project together. Um, but being an online student is beneficial for people who's far away, for people who work 9 to 5s, or got a crazy schedule, and they're trying to balance life with school. So the online does help, in my opinion, for those kind of people. And as of right now, I'm that kind of person.
Hmm. So you
So
feel like the program that you have going online, being that you are where you are, still facilitates most of the experience that you need to, but you did admit that there are some resources that an on-campus student might find valuable.
absolutely,
Okay. So
absolutely.
I'm currently an on-campus student, and I'm a part of the cybersecurity program. And one
Hmm.
thing that I've noticed while being on campus is just what you mentioned. There are a number of resources available that really make the student experience a bit easier. I wouldn't
Hmm.
necessarily say it makes it better. There are definitely some pros and cons to commuting to campus, but all in all, I definitely agree that by having these resources there, it does make it a bit more conducive for someone who's trying to complete a project or network to let's say you're in music production or you're
Mhm.
in an industry where you need to develop connections, that is a little bit easier while on campus. And I've also noticed those same things as well, being where I am. Now, if you had to give any tips to an online student, though, what would be some of those tips, especially since you've already gone through a couple classes so far?
So what I've learned, not every month the schedule is going to be the same. Don't get accustomed to just one thing. And if you do want to network online, reach out. Don't be shy. Motivate yourself. Um, you know, as the saying goes, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you want to network, open up to people, even in the certain classes that you're in. Me doing cinematography, I actually reached out to a few artists that in there for music, because the kind of fields that we're in, they coincide with each other. Music videos and music. So in my eyes, the best tip would be, don't be shy. The kind of courses that Full Sail offer, especially with creativity, the biggest thing is having a network. And if you don't open up, how are you going to network?
Hmm.
So, not everybody's going to respond, and you can't let that knock you down, because that's just like in life. When you go to a job, you're not going to get every job you interview for. You can't let it knock you down. You got to keep on pushing on to the next person, on to the next network. And if you're ever confused about anything or even have questions, there's students, teachers that are amazing, and they get back to you right away. Like, honestly, Andrew, I had nobody to do the podcast with, and you stepped up for me, man. I really appreciate it. Like, it's things like that, that shows that people come together, and, we could actually make things happen.
Definitely. I do think that there is a barrier for some students where they don't feel like they can really communicate to other students, or they might be a little nervous, especially if you're online. I mean, it can be a little tough sometimes. So I admire that you're willing to reach out to those, even if you're at a distance, and try to build those connections anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, to me, I feel like people, it's in our nature to connect with other people. So once you have that side of you unlocked, you're unstoppable. You become this force that, people just want to reckon with, because you have such a mellow vibe to you, and everybody, well, pardon me, sorry. Um, that was the band lab program I was telling you about.
Hmm.
But I feel that it's a way of, once it's unlocked, it's just a way of life, man. And it becomes so cool to have, people who look to you for advice, or even look to you for a helping hand. A lot of people don't realize asking for a helping hand really could get you far in life. Not everybody does everything by themselves. Look at the people who've made it so far. Like, I'm gonna use the music industry for an example. Um, Jay-Z didn't get where he was at by himself. If it wasn't for Dame Dash, he would have never went nowhere. But it took him the network, him being from Brooklyn, Dame being from Harlem. So it's to me, I feel like once you unleash it in your comfort zone, that's what it's about, getting in your comfort zone to talk to people. It doesn't really matter what you say, even if it's a hey. When most people will respond. I know I do. So what would you say to me about you being a student on campus, and um the equipment you're allowed to use?
Sure. I personally haven't had the opportunity to get fully hands-on with any equipment just yet, other than our
Mhm.
launch box, of course, which is a package that's basically given to all students who are on campus, and they are
And
given a
off campus.
laptop with and off campus as well. Did you
Yes.
receive a launch box?
Yes, the iPad. I'm waiting for my computer and camera.
Okay. So these items are really good head start pieces to just get us jumping into classes. And I think it's a really remarkable thing that they give to the students because not everyone comes from the
Amazing.
same background. But as far as other
Absolutely.
resources, I do feel that on our campus, let's say that you are in music production, they have an entire sound studio with a variety of equipment. And if you need anything, it is there. In fact, there are programs where you are actively going into those locations is very hands-on, having the opportunity to really investigate the music taste that you're trying to explore. And because those resources are available, you aren't having to spend thousands of dollars on this equipment. It's optional for you. It's really a wonderful experience. And I do highly recommend that if you are someone who is very hands-on, that you take the opportunity to go on campus rather than off campus.
Absolutely, 100%. Now, for students who don't know Full Sail, what would you say to them about the living situation if they wanted to be on campus? Because a lot of people ask me that, why didn't you go on campus? Why would you do it online?
Sure. So, in short, the college offers a variety of resources that connect you with local apartment complexes. And through the scholarship, they actually have a payment plan where you get into these apartments. Most of the process is relatively easy. And for someone who's just starting off, it allows them the opportunity to still have that on campus experience within a close proximity. In fact, the place I'm
Mm,
staying at right
okay.
now is within walking distance of Full Sail.
Oh, that's great. That's
Right.
great.
So it is really fantastic that they have the opportunity to connect with these apartment complexes because if you are looking for a dorm experience, not quite going to get it. But if you are comfortable with having a roommate, they have those options available. And if you are not even the type of person that really enjoys having those experiences, you can opt out of those and choose something for yourself or something for your partner, spouse, whoever you might be with. Options are abounding for students who are going onto the campus.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Honestly, hearing it, you might have just changed my mind. But I feel you asked a lot of great questions, man, and we're at a good space. I think we're good to go.
Yes, I definitely agree. It seems like we've really hit on a number of topics, and I'm very glad that we had this podcast today, the opportunity to kind of go back and forth and understand a little bit about our experiences. I do hope for all
Absolutely.
those that are listening that you took a little bit of something away and that hopefully this information not only helps you make a decision if you're a prospective student, but even if you are a current student, it puts you into a place where you might feel motivated to choose one side or another just because of hearing about our students.
I agree
Again,
100% with you.
thank you again, Jonathan. I appreciate the conversation, and I'm looking forward to hearing hearing what you get into post Full Sail education.
Me too, Andrew. Have a good one. Thanks a lot.